Hey, Men's Journal. We're Aaron and Josh from Stuff and Whiskey.
And today we are talking about the 5 bottles of bourbon that everyone should own. These are a little bit of a premium offering compared to some of the standard products you might know from these distilleries, but we think it's worth stretching for. These are some of our favorite products out there around that $50 price point or a little bit less. So let's get right into it. And the first one up is going to be Eagle Rare. Now, Eagle Rare is a product that has a lot of hype behind it out there in the market. It is from the Buffalo Trace distillery. We do like Buffalo Trace, or I like Buffalo Trace, I should say, but we think Eagle Rare is worth stretching a little bit more for. Buffalo Trace being around that $30 price point in most markets, Eagle Rare being more around that $40 to $50 price point. Yeah. If you can find it, it's worth looking for.
Yeah. Historically, I don't love a lot of Buffalo Trace products, but Eagle Rare is one that I do like, and it is worth the money for me. So,
yeah. The 10-year age statement on there with that extra age, that extra time in the barrel, brings just a little bit more flavor to the equation. And we just really enjoy this product. They even have, if you see these little silver stickers on them, it means they are a single barrel selection that has been chosen by a store or restaurant. This one from a restaurant, but always worth looking out for these products. It's basically liquefied grape nerds in a glass. Very hard to go wrong if you like a fruit-forward bourbon profile, but Eagle Rare is definitely a winner in our book.
Yep.
Let's get into the next one, and I think this one could give Eagle Rare a very good run for its money, and this is going to be Michter's US 1 small batch bourbon, also available for about $50 in most markets.
And that's what's in this glass.
That's what we're sipping right now.
Yeah, we're sipping it. And this tastes so flavorful. It doesn't taste watered down. I was shocked that you told me it was 94 proof.
91.4.
Yeah, even more.
Yeah.
It has so much flavor. So, yeah, definitely a buy.
Yeah. This leans a little bit away from the fruit-forward profile of Eagle Rare. You're going to get a little bit more of those caramel and honey type of notes. Man, I love this stuff. It is one of my favorite lower proof, kind of around that 90 proof point bottles. Yeah. Michter's puts their whiskey or their distillate into the barrel at 103 proof. So as it ages and they add water to it to get it down to this 91.4 proof point, they're adding a lot less water because the industry standard and what almost every single distillery uses is a barrel entry proof of 125 proof. So there is a huge difference between 125 proof and 103 proof going into the barrel. It means you're getting much more flavorful bourbon without all the water added. Can't go wrong with Michter's.
It shows, yeah.
Absolutely. Very high quality, small batch blending going into these products as well. Can't say enough good stuff about Michter's. Also, can't say enough good stuff about this next distillery. And it is Jack Daniel's with their black label, but not old number 7 black label. This is their single barrel select. And these right here are a single barrel, which we'll talk about that in a second, but they go for about $50 in each market. Look how gorgeous this bottle is. I mean, it is a jewel on your shelf.
Well, and the thing I love about single barrels is that every single barrel is different. So this bottle is from one single barrel. We can get another one from another single barrel and compare and contrast them because they're going to taste different. Probably similar, but not the same.
Exactly.
Which is cool.
A single barrel will only yield about 100 to 200 bottles at most.
Yeah.
Whereas a small batch could yield thousands upon thousands upon thousands of bottles. So these single barrels are really cool because I think these make the best gifts. And as a whiskey nerd myself, we call Aaron the social sipper. I'm more of a whiskey nerd. I love tasting this single barrel compared to the next single barrel. So when this one gets a little low, I always go buy a new one and compare it to the last single barrel just to see how the same flavor profile from a distillery can differ. That's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And I think it makes a good gift, not just because it looks good, but because even if someone has one of these, the chances that they have the exact single barrel that you find in your store are very unlikely.
Yeah.
So to be able to get something as cool as this for $50, to me, is a no-brainer. This is like banana pudding and Nilla wafers. And I know this is a bourbon list, and I know some of you out there are thinking, wait a minute, Jack Daniel's isn't bourbon, it's Tennessee whiskey. Jack Daniel's is bourbon. They just do one extra step that does not disqualify them from being bourbon. Just a little marketing twist that they put on their product line. Still bourbon, though. the federal government almost even told them they had to label it as bourbon. They fought for a marketing spin,
Yeah.
and they got it, and it's worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah.
I would say.
I'd say so.
All right. Next up.
We're running out of room, too.
Yep, we got to make some more room. Next up is going to be Maker's Mark 101, and very much in the same trajectory as Eagle Rare being a step up from Buffalo Trace, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select being a step up from Old Number 7. Maker's Mark 101 is a step up from regular Maker's Mark, a brand synonymous with wheated bourbon, and the red wax is not only iconic but
cool.
trademarked.
Oh, is it trademarked?
It is, yeah.
Oh, that's smart.
No one else can use red wax tops. Maker's Mark owns that. I remember years ago, back in the college days when we wanted to impress the girls, me and my buddies would splurge on a bottle of regular Maker's Mark. But Maker's Mark 101 is definitely a step up.
Yeah.
$40, the cheapest bottle we're going to talk about today, and readily available in every market. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But
yeah, well, I don't really like wheated whiskeys, bourbons, pretty much, mostly, except Maker's products. I do like Maker's products, and this is one that's really good.
Yeah.
It's smooth, it has flavor, it's just, it doesn't, to me, I don't get, there's a funkiness that I get on a lot of wheated bourbons, and I don't get that here, so I really like it.
And we've done a lot of blind tastings on our YouTube channel, Stuff and Whiskey, and we've put a lot of Maker's products up against comparable Weller products. And with as much hype as there is behind the Weller wheated bourbon lineup, you would think that it would just be slam dunk victory after slam dunk victory for Weller. That's not the case. Maker's Mark oftentimes for comparable products is better than Weller products for our palates. When we're tasting blind and don't know, when we remove all the bias, which is what we do for our tastings. But the cool thing about 101, I think, is that this used to be a limited edition product. And I'm not even sure. It used to say limited edition on the label. But they eventually realized that people loved it so much that they started releasing it nationwide and even worldwide. So if you can get this, you're getting a limited edition turned regular release product for as little as $40 in most markets. The hallmark of wheated bourbon is that soft approach on the palate and the way that the finish just kind of tapers off. And as Erin said, a lot of times wheated bourbon is considered to be smooth. And I would say Eagle Rare and Michter's both have something to say about that. I think they qualify for sure for the smooth moniker.
Smooth, yeah. In a different way, though.
In a totally different way.
Yeah.
This is higher proof at 101 proof, but it hits the palate with a good amount of flavor. Also in that kind of caramelly vein like the Michter's had.
And this one doesn't burn. To me, I don't get a burn on that, which is nice.
That's wheated bourbon for
you.
So speaking of burn, we don't mind a little bit of spice ourselves.
Correct.
And
we like a little spice.
Exactly. And if you are, speaking of college days back here, back in the college days, people would call Wild Turkey 101 the kickin' chicken.
Oh, really?
Because it's a turkey. Yeah. So 101 proof seemed daunting in the college days.
Yeah.
And 101 kind of got labeled as a spicy bourbon. You take that profile and you crank it up even higher and you add some older whiskey into the mix, and what you get is perhaps our favorite bottle for $50.
It is my favorite bottle.
Yes. I said
Hands
perhaps.
down. It is.
I don't need to bury the lead. This is by far our favorite bottle for $50. Wild Turkey Rare Breed barrel proof Kentucky whiskey at 116.8 proof. And as we said, I've even heard that this is in the mid $30 range in Costco's if you have a Costco membership.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, we're not that lucky. Rare breed to me,
Here comes the love letter.
I need a moment. It is like sophistication in a glass. And I just want to curl up with it in a cozy lounge chair, reading a book, wearing a cardigan by a fire. I don't know. That's the vision I get when I think of rare breed, and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
I don't know what else there is to say. It is, you've called it library whiskey.
Yeah.
Old library whiskey.
It kind of gives me vibes of walking into an old library. Again, wearing a cardigan. There's always a cardigan involved.
Because it's warm and cozy.
Yeah.
And rare breed is warm and cozy.
Yeah.
116.8 proof is going to bring a little bit more punch and a little bit more impact. But I would urge you not to let that put you off at all, because rare breed right here is blended very, very well. 6, 8, and 12 year whiskey goes into this blend from Wild Turkey. And just baby sips. Don't knock it back quite as much as you're doing over here with some of these lower proof points. But if you just take baby sips, you're going to get so much more flavor than you are going to get with anything else on the table. Also stands up very well to ice if you like your whiskey cold.
Yeah.
Can serve well as a cocktail whiskey, although we don't usually reach for $50 bottles to make cocktails ourselves.
But you could.
And truthfully speaking, all of these would work very well for that purpose as well. If you're looking for a premium bourbon to use in your cocktails and kind of elevate them a little bit, these are all worth trying for that purpose as well. But yeah, this is what we think. We think these are 5 whiskeys, 5 bourbons specifically, even Jack Daniels, that every whiskey lover, every bourbon lover should own. They're worth paying up for compared to their, more affordable counterparts of, 101, regular Maker's Mark, regular Jack Daniels, and Buffalo Trace.
Yep.
Michter's kind of stands in a class of its own because they're putting out premium bourbon as their lowest offering, which kind of speaks volumes.
Yeah.
They're focused on quality. And if you thought this conversation was quality and you want to see more content like this, be sure to head over to YouTube and check us out at Stuff and Whiskey.
Yep, we'd love to have you. And thank you guys so much for watching our video. Be good to each other, and until next time.
Cheers.